Thought much about that runner-up thing? I'm sure you've been asked about it. When you come runner-up, you seem to be more successful than actually winning the thing.
Yeah, I think there's lots of, there's speculation on all of that. I don't know. I think had I won, I think I'd probably be in pretty much the same place I am now. I think regardless of winning or being the runner-up or even being third or fourth place, I think the show is a platform, and I think it launches you into the homes of people across the country and in the world, and gives you a bunch of opportunities, and it's how you run with those opportunities that kind of dictates whether your career is going to be successful or not. And I think it did just that. And I'm really, really, really happy with where I'm at right now, and really excited to make music.
Fantastic. I don't know why I didn't realise, but there's a lot of acting in your background. Was acting going to be the business if the singing wasn't?
I think I always did musical theater, so it was always hand to hand with music. I did very few productions that didn't involve singing.
Yeah.
And I think I've always really been more into the singing aspect of it than the acting. But performing is definitely something that I've always wanted to do. I think from an early age, it just kind of seemed like the natural fit.
Where did all that come from?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I kind of had a pretty strong imagination, and I had a lot of energy, and I was very talkative, and my parents thought, we need an outlet for this. So they put me in a children's theater group at 10.
And off you went, and you had Hello Dolly and Chess and Fiddler on the Roof, and you played Linus and Peter Pan and the Ten Commandments and Hair and all that sort of stuff?
All of it, yeah.
What were your parents thinking? I mean, were you not a troubled child, but were you troubled as a child? Were you one of those kids who didn't buckle down at school and they thought we need to channel this creativity somewhere, or were you a perfect kid who just happened to be a good actor and singer?
I think I was a good kid. I think socially I was a little awkward. I didn't always, different points in my childhood didn't have like a ton of friends. I was kind of the strange kid. And so I think that was another reason why the theater thing was so great. Was because I was able to have a social life.
Yeah. What is that? Strange people end up in the performing arts, don't they?
I guess, yeah, it's pretty common. I think that people whose natural gift is to be in front of people on a stage, at an early age, that's probably just kind of makes you a little bit different from the other kids.
I guess so. Although, as the success comes, I look at your hair and I look at your makeup and I look at the way you perform and all of that sort of stuff. Is that relatively recent, or has that always been you?
Well, I've always played dress up. I mean, that's something like as a kid I did, and in high school, there was all sorts of performances that I, costumed myself for and whatnot. And then in my 20s, I was going to clubs and dressing crazy, and so yeah, it's kind of always been something I've been drawn to.
Wow, and this whole gay thing, I do not understand. Why was it such a big deal that you were gay?
Because I live in the United States.
but what's that say about the United States?
It's a sensational thing. I mean, it's something that I know the media doesn't have a lot of examples of. So when they find somebody that's in the public eye who is out and comfortable with it, it's something that they really, 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 really love to talk about. And I think it's also a hot button issue for people in this country. It's something that, depending on where you're from, either people are totally comfortable with it or completely uncomfortable with it. So it's a very dividing quality. I don't know. People make a big deal out of it, and I don't think it's a big deal either.
No, indeed. But do you get sick of talking about it, or do you see it as a good thing to help other gay people come out or be more comfortable with themselves?
I'm kind of on the fence on that. I mean, there have been moments where I'm like, wow, I can't believe that I'm being referred to, like, in the press, for example, as openly gay singer, and I'm like, wait, I'm a singer. The openly gay thing is just a side note. Yeah. So I think that when it takes precedence over what I do in my art, that's when I get a little irritated with it. But I do think that there's a lot of importance in being proud about it and open about it, to set the example for maybe young people that are growing up that don't have a role model, that don't have somebody to look at who is secure with their sexuality. And hopefully it reaches beyond other gay and lesbian kids, and it reaches into the idea that it's also for anybody that feels different, anybody that feels like an outcast, anybody that feels like they don't belong, to feel proud of that.
What about the long-term plan, Adam? You got the long-term plan? Are you in charge of the juggernaut that is called Adam Lambert? Are you you got a long-term plan for all of this?
Yeah, I mean, I have a very strong management company. They're awesome. They work really hard, and I'm part of a record label as well. But I've been really happy to have been really involved in the creative process from start to finish. My album, my image, all of it. I really do get to kind of do what I want as far as who I am and how I'm represented, which is great. And I think a lot of people think that when you're involved with the Idol brand that you become a puppet for them, and I haven't had that experience at all. And I don't think that would have been my experience even if I had one.
Well, you're on your way. It's all international. The tour goes out of the States and international. It's coming here, and we're looking forward to seeing you and appreciate your time very much.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Adam Lambert from Atlanta, Georgia, actually from Canada this morning. Hello from Canada, waiting to hear Mr. Fabulous Adam Lambert. See, they're listening all over the world. The world loves Adam Lambert. He sings, he does a good job, no doubt about that. 8:25. We need to alert you to the fact that we've got all our winners for this week's fabulous competition, which is the fashion prize with our fashion ambassador for Fashion Week, Katie Hawkesby. Unfortunately, tomorrow some of the program is going to need to be dedicated through threats from her lawyer. I apparently have said some things about her during the week. She wants apologies on, and I'm looking at the list now, and this is the amended list. This is a list that will be growing overnight.
I've seen the list. Some of that stuff is actually not stuff that you've just said this week.
Oh, is it not? Is it general
I've got
stuff that I've
that
said?
goes back to 2002.